Welcome back to another episode of Something Like a Podcast, episode 16.
We had a holiday break, but now we're back and we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So let's just jump right into it. We were just talking about one of your favorite players, James Harden.
Like I said that like with a smart kind of shit right there.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So James Harden had, I don't know where I want to start. So let's start with the 60 points that he scored in 3 quarters. Someone was doing some math, and I guess Kobe Bryant, when he scored his 81 points, he was on a better pace. So if D'Antoni didn't take him out, he got taken out with, I think, 5 minutes or so left in the third. So he had a half a quarter and a whole fourth quarter he didn't play, and he still scored 60 points.
Again, individual stats. He's not greatness. Like I'm saying, he's not. If you don't get a ring, like I said, like we discussed in last episode, if you don't get a ring in any kind of sport you play, you're not a legend. You're just a great player. I'm leaving him as a great player. He's not a legend until he gets that ring. He's not going to get that ring because look what he's doing now. He's wearing himself out, like I discussed last time.
Okay, so here's the question. They put up a graphic, and this is like scoring, okay? And these players are legends. They're talking about the most 60-point scored games in NBA history. So Wilt Chamberlain, he's far beyond everybody else. He has like 32 60-point games. Kobe Bryant has 6. And James Harden is tied with Michael Jordan for 4. Okay. Now, we're talking about legends, right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, Wilt is a legend.
No doubt about it. But he got rings.
Okay. Kobe's a legend.
He got rings.
Jordan's a legend. Got
rings.
Okay, but you're still in the company of these legends.
I get that he is. He definitely is. But I don't consider him as a legend, even though that he's up there. You can be up there with the greatest of all time, but people's not going to remember you off of those stats, in my opinion. The reason why people talk about Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, because I guarantee you it's because of the rings that he has. Okay. It's not about the individual stats. Like I said last time, it's all about team effort. He's scoring 60 points. Okay, what does Westbrook have? Like 10? Like what kind of shit is? You get what I'm saying? What kind of stuff is that? I
understand what you're saying, but let me ask you this:
he just patting his stats. That's what I call it.
I don't know about patting stats.
I say patting his stats. Okay, James Harden reminds me of a guy that's selfish for himself. I guarantee he didn't have hardly any assists. 60 points, you can't have like a lot of assists with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're always scoring the basket or you're shooting. I just don't. Overall,
okay. So let me give you this. Okay. So let me give you this. D'Antoni is known for, and we talked about this before. D'Antoni is known for this high-paced offense. So what I understand is they're giving James Harden the green light. D'Antoni's telling James Harden to go out and do this. So if your coach is telling you to go out on the floor and do this,
that's what I'm saying. It all starts with the head coach. I don't like it. Because, like I said, they're not going to win the chip. I'm telling you that now. They're going to fizzle in the first or second round of the playoffs. Even if they get out of the first round, they're not going nowhere. Because guess what? James Harden is wearing himself out.
Okay, so
because he's human. Eventually, he's going to start inside the playoffs. He's going to start not have a lot of energy. Because for one, he's scoring 60. If he's scoring an average of 40 to 60 points a night, that's going to wear you down. Because 82 games is a long, long season.
It is. But let me say this before I forget it. John Stockton, is he a legend?
Yes. He has rings.
No, John Stockton doesn't.
He doesn't have rings. I thought he had one.
No. So they went to the finals a few times, but they went up against the Chicago Bulls. So my point of saying this is sometimes your team is not just... There's no way, as great as John Stockton was and as great as Carmelo was, they weren't going to beat Jordan. I mean, Jordan's just a better player, but that doesn't take away from their legacy. John Stockton is the all-time leading, assist?
Mm-hmm. I believe so, yes.
And maybe steals?
You got a good point. You're just trying to poke holes into my...
No, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
You're right.
So I would give John Stockton legendary status. And Carmelo too. I think he's number 2 all time in scoring.
But it should also be a base of, I forgot to add earlier, it should be a base of how you act off the court, on the court, especially on the court. I don't think that these guys ever try to complain. Again, I keep bringing it up because that's what I'm going to remember him for, being a sissy. on that game last year in the playoffs where, oh my God, I'm missing the shot because I'm not getting the calls. Like, I'm trying to force calls. I'm trying to, because that one landing with Draymond Green, seriously, you could have injured Green on that play because you kicked your legs out. You could have, kicked him in the shin, do something to the shin, or you could have tripped him by mistake. You know what I'm saying? Is that I don't like. I'm gonna remember him regardless of that. Regardless, like I said, I'd be so happy because I like to rub it in if he never gets a ring. But even if he does get one, I'm still gonna remember him as James Harden, sissy ass pussy crybaby. That's how I'm gonna remember him as, just because of, for one is, you're sitting there crying about calls not being made, but you're forcing the calls. So that's my take on that scenario. That's the reason why I don't like him, is because of he's arrogant, and it was all about me. In the playoffs last year, when you're getting your ass beat, and all you got to do is just, they could have won that. The Rockets could definitely won that series if they would play more as a team, but he was just trying to concentrate on shooting the basket, and shooting the basket, just like we talked about in the past. You have shooters on that team.
This is what I'm going to say, and I think we talked about this before. Like, when you don't like somebody, every single thing about them, you pick them apart.
No. I dig what you're saying. I just don't think that he's all that good, in my opinion, even though with all these points scored, I know stats don't lie. I get that stats don't lie, but I'm going to fizz his attitude about things. Just like I said, the playoffs deal, he could have been a champion if he would just, stop, because all these empty possessions that happen in the playoffs when you're sitting trying to kick your legs out, causing the foul, that could have been 2 points, 3 points. You let go off the board because of you're trying to force something that's not there. You get what I'm saying with that scenario?
Well, yes. This is what I'm going to say. I agree with the fact that I saw LeBron James do this too in the playoffs, where he just gave up.
That's
I think it was like
about.
2 years ago. He just quit. Like, in the middle of the series, he just quit. So I agree with you on that. I don't condone quitting on your team.
I don't like that. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm a hard worker.
Okay.
You know this about me. You used to work with me, so you would know about this. Like, I'm a hard worker. Obviously, for example, I just started my Twitch account. I am not a famous gamer. Nobody's Holly watching me. Just like I said, I get 3-5 views, but that's not going to stop me, because you know why?
Right.
It's not about the views. It's not about the follows. It's about that you love what you're doing.
Right.
And I love what I'm doing. I don't care if this never, like I'm talking about Twitch, if it ever never blows up. I don't care. I'm still going to stream. I'm still going to work for it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. I'm just trying my best, trying to entertain other people. And doing this podcast, I'm trying to inform other people, to help other people. I'm trying to do different things. I'm still trying to do film as well. Aaron Swarm is just more than just one thing. He loves to promote. I love to promote stuff out there, and other people. That's part of this right here.
So I'm gonna say this about James Harden, because I'm on the fence with him. I'm a team-oriented person, so I'm kind of with you. Like, I want the team to be
work hard for it.
Not just that, but
too. But team-oriented.
Exactly. So when you talk about players like Kyrie Irving, and there's other players who bring disruption to the team.
James Harden has 1 point. Well, I don't like Kyrie either, because you're bringing all this attention.
I understand that. But
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to cut
it's
you
all
off.
good. This is what I'm trying to get to. So if we were to hold, because I'm going off of what you're saying. You said no matter what James Harden does, you're always going to bring up the fact that he was crying and complaining and doing whatever. So what if we use that same idea? I always go back to Kobe, because Kobe has the greatest come-up story, in my opinion. Like, he came off the bench. He was missing. He tried to take game winners and were airballing it. So we can't hold that to the 24 Kobe, who was hitting game winners and winning MVPs and finals MVPs. So, but the same thing with Kobe. Kobe didn't trust his teammates. He was ball hogging at one point. And then when he got Pau Gasol, he got a solid team around him. His game changed. Jordan was the same way. When Jordan was averaging 37 points per game, he wasn't trusting his teammates. But then it got to a point He was trusting John Paxson. He was trusting Steve Kerr. He was trusting Scottie Pippen to do these things, and that's when they started winning championships. So James Harden, I will give him this. Great offensive player. But yes, to your point, he does have to really trust his teammates.
I don't think he's going to. Like I said, you got to realize Kobe and James Harden's two different guys, two different human beings, two different personalities.
Right, okay.
Kobe says, okay.
Kobe's been complaining too. Kobe went through a stretch.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I'm going. I'm not just throwing shade. I'm going both ways because you got to. But guess what? Kobe got out of it. I don't see James Harden ever getting out of it. To me, he just seems like he's that person that it has to be about me, or we don't win.
Okay.
Because the stats say for yourself. If you look at the stats, like if it's about me, I'm on television, so I want to come score all these points. Mm-hmm. I don't mind my shooters like PJ Tucker right there in the corner that can hit threes from downtown and probably down to Las Vegas downtown. So that's what I'm saying is he's not trusted, and I don't think he's ever gone to. The man's almost 27 years old.
So let me ask you this:
he's already past 23 years old.
That's cool, but let me ask you this: if there was a coaching change, let's say. Whatever coach, Mark Jackson. I still think Mark Jackson deserves another shot in the NBA. So Mark Jackson comes to the Houston Rockets and he says, look, we're going to change the way we play. We're going to be a defensive-oriented team, and we're not going to run the offense solely through Harden. Now, if Harden gives backlash, you got it. Everything you're saying,
he would.
That remains to be seen, though.
I feel he would, just because of who says that he's going to listen. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't. Again, the way that he talks, I see some of his interviews. He's just like stuff like that. Like, dude, come on now. They're asking you a solid question. Answer the damn question. So, just like I said, I don't like James Harden as a player.
I understand that.
That's just me.
Right.
I'm not going to question his, because that's not my job. So all I know is that I really don't care for him as a player, just because of, like I said, like we discussed this in the past episodes, that he's just.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to beat around the bush. I'm just trying to get.
Say what you feel. I understand. Like, I understand that wholeheartedly. When you see a player, and some people said Dwight Howard when he was in Houston, like they didn't like him because he wasn't giving 100%. So as long as you're going out there and you're trying hard, people are going to they're going to vouch for you.
That's
exactly.
That's what I like about everything is hard worker. Mm-hmm. That's what I am. I'm a very, very hard worker. So I like when other people work hard for it, because of you just don't have. That's not how life is. Life is you have to work hard for it. It should not be handed to you. I feel that James Harden gets stuff too easy. Like he gets stuff like handed to him. So Tony goes up to him and says, "Go through you, Harden. Mm-hmm. Shoot. I guarantee you. I'm telling you this because it's going to be a fact. If another coach comes in there and says we're not running it through James Harden and we're going to run it through Russell Westbrook or the whole team, I don't think James Harden's going to be putting up the numbers. He's solely through a system."
So, okay, you're right. He is shining through a D'Antoni system.
Am I right, guys? Anybody
I'm telling you, you're right. He's running through a D'Antoni system. So it's nothing different.
He's not going to, if Mark Jackson takes over with that guy.
But see, that's the coach. The coach has precedence over the players. So if Mark Jackson comes through and they're going to respect Mark Jackson because they've seen what he's done.
Who says James Harden's gone to? That's what I'm saying, because he's so used to being about me, because he's been with D'Antoni for what? Since he's been in Houston? So it's like, who says he's going to adapt?
Then that comes down to management now.
It is.
So if you bring a coach in and look at other sports, we're looking at Antonio Brown and all these other players. So if
he's a disgrace.
But this is what I'm talking about. If you are a player and you're playing for a coach and you're uncoachable, then management might have to say, well, we're going to trade you. You have to abide by what the management is putting in position.
I agree with you.
You're a great player, yes.
I would.
But within this organization, this is what we need you to do. And if you're not going to do it, then you might have to go to a different team.
I guarantee he's gonna whine, he's gonna cry because he's not getting his stats. That's what I'm saying is it's not if you notice his attitude and the way that he plays on the court and the way that he talks in his interviews, you think gives a crap about his teammates, and I guarantee you him and Russell are beefing. They just trying to keep it on the down low. It's just
they could, because that's what happened with Chris Paul, and we didn't know until it came out.
That's what I'm saying. So I guarantee you there was some kind of beefing going on right there. They're just trying to keep it hush hush because of they got to keep it out of the media because it's going to blow up. Yeah. So I think that's going to come out that they'll beef. And because if you look at Russell Westbrook's stats, and I'm going to go down Russell Westbrook's throat too. He's the same way too. He has to have his stats. Mm-hmm. If you notice what he did in Oklahoma, which everybody has noticed that over the years that he was with Oklahoma.
Okay.
That's what he is. He's a guy that needs to patch his stats, and he's not getting at it. In the last couple games that I have not, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of NBA recently because I've been busy, but I've been seeing like his point totals in the last 3 games, but you get what I'm point. Mm-hmm. Like where they're not as big as Harden's, and guess who's getting all the glory right now?
Who's this?
James Harden. Anything said about Russell Westbrook? Nope. So I guarantee he's gonna feel some type of way. Because they're all divas, man.
They are. I mean, it's a lot of players that are like that, but I think it comes to a point, and we talked about this, I think the last episode, when you have somebody like a Westbrook who's an MVP. He comes to Houston with another MVP. Then who is the head person in charge? It's 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the person who was there first.
That's what I'm saying.
So Westbrook should say, okay, now I have to alter my game. He's uber athletic. He knows the game. He's proven he can rebound the ball. He can pass the ball. So he has other intangibles. If you're not going to exert offense or energy on the offense, then go down on defense and play lockdown D. That's how you help the team.
I agree with you. If I was Russell Westbrook, I wouldn't put my feelings aside and say, because if I was Westbrook, I wouldn't even like James Harden, to be honest with you. If I got traded there, I'd be like, I went out. If I was a superstar, before I even got traded, I said, I'll be honest with you. If I was an NBA star like that, and they said there's rumor that I might be going to a James Harden's team, I'm going straight to the management up above of that team and be like, do not trade me there. Because I don't want to go there. I don't want to play with James Harden. Like that. That's how much I don't like him.
It's high. It's definitely high.
It's really high because the fact is like I said, we talked about this already. Yeah. And then just like I said, it is what it is. New subject.
Well, not really, because this still has to do with James Harden. Okay. So what was it? Last game or the game before? There was a dunk that James Harden did, and the ball kind of got tangled up in the net. It went through. When he dunked it, the ball kind of got tangled up in the net, and they didn't count the points. So James Harden dunked the ball. I wish we watched the video before we talked about it. So if you want to bring the video up, you can. It's like a short clip. But he dunks the ball, it gets caught up in the net, and then James Harden kind of hits the ball, and they say the ball was out on Harden. So
he probably feel a little tizzy fit like he normally does.
D'Antoni did, which he should have, because they were okay. So in the NBA, you're allowed to do like a review. I think but it costs you a timeout.
You get a coach challenge.
Okay, so D'Antoni tried to challenge it. He said no, the ball went in, he dunked it. They told him you can't review it. So then they lied. They lied and said, oh, D'Antoni didn't ask. You have a 30-second window. But then when you look at the video clip, as soon as it happened, D'Antoni was like, no, he scored the ball. But now the referees are covering up and was like, no, he never asked us, or he didn't ask us in the amount of time that's allotted. So someone was coming, I don't know if it came from the league office where they were talking about, well, we're going to go back and let them play from the third quarter on. I was like, I've never heard of someone doing that. Yeah, you wouldn't do that.
Over just a damn dunk that didn't
they
happen.
Lost the game. So maybe that was of course you're going to say good, but maybe that was
I love seeing when they lose.
Maybe that was like a momentum swing.
Good.
Okay. But for the Houston fans and people who are neutral, in any arena, if there is a blown call that causes you to, lose the game, the officials have to own up to it. I don't know how they're
totally agree with that one, because it happened in football too.
Okay.
Especially with the Dallas Cowboys game. Okay. There was a tripping call that cost the Cowboys that could have possibly won them the game against oh my God, it was on Thanksgiving. I forget who they was playing, but it was on Thanksgiving.
The Bills? It wasn't the Bills, was it? I don't
remember. But anyways, it was on Thanksgiving. It was two tripping calls. That was you see replay like, ref, what are you looking at? Do you need glasses? It was like one of those.
Okay.
So, but it's like, hey, they're human too.
They are human, but there's certain like LeBron James.
That one way,
okay, so I'm gonna give you this. There are certain calls that you might not see because you don't have the right angle, and then there's calls like LeBron James. What was it last night? He's dribbling up the court, comes over half court, puts the ball up and just starts walking, and they don't call anything. And the person defending him's like, he's walking, but they didn't call anything. So that's what I'm saying. There's certain situations because there's certain situations they're even talking about giving Houston the win for that one game. I would say no because after the fourth quarter, I think they played San Antonio. I think that's who they were playing. They just kind of got blown out. So that one call, okay, that's 2 points. But if you lose by 12, then what? Now you lost by 10. So, but blown calls, that's something that the refs really have to get on top of.
They do. That should have been able to be challenged.
And they should have put the points. So this is the thing. Even if it was leading up to halftime, I think it was before halftime, the referees have time to go over maybe calls they missed. And if they're looking at the tape, even though they denied D'Antoni and said, no, you can't review the call, you look at it, the ball went in. He dunked it. He scored. Let's give him the 2 points. But when you don't do that, then, people are going to get upset.
Well, I'm not one of those people. I love seeing when they lose and they screw them and they complain and they whine, and I like it because I laugh at it because it's so funny that I get the point on that. I would complain too on that one, but some of this, like I said, I'm not trying to go back in the past, but past stuff, he's like, it ain't that deep. All right, so now I do got some news of my own.
There you go.
I don't know if you heard there, Mel, but animal cruelty is a felony. How you feel about that now?
That should have been a felony a long time ago.
It never was, though.
Really?
It never was. Well,
But what happened with Michael Vick when Michael Vick was involved with that dogfighting ring? That was animal cruelty, and he went to jail for that.
He's still there, but what they did was where now it's like a sex offender, basically. Registry,
really?
Yes, where they can't hide behind anything anymore. Donald Trump just passed it. So now that's what I said. I'm kind of like, what? So that tells me that it wasn't going on their permanent record, or they just couldn't find it after if they did it, or something like that. That's what I'm reading into, and that's what I was reading an article about it. So I forget what the source of it was, but that's if I remember correctly, that's I don't know how I feel about. I'm against animal cruelty. Same.
I'm
everybody
totally
know that. I
against
hate that. I hate that. Like I read a story today where a actual cop that's supposed to protect the law, 2 innocent dogs, but no, it doesn't matter. But it was 2 dogs, and he just opened fire on one of them.
On the dogs?
On both of them, yeah.
For what?
What I read, nothing. And they was minding their own business, and this actually coming off a Facebook group off of animal rescue or something like that. Well, it's actually off of a Facebook group where they actually show dog laying in the street dead, and the other one was rushed to the veterinarian, or the hospital. But it was like, really, and he's supposed to protect us.
Yeah. So okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Animals are defenseless for the most part. Exactly. I mean, a dog.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if the dog is attacking you. I don't feel that you should still kill that animal. I feel that you should maybe tranquilize it to see,
Okay. But I'll say in certain situations, it's common sense. If a dog is attacking a child, they put dogs down for that. I understand that. Because he's a threat and he might kill a child.
I agree with you on that, but I'll try to think of, because I'm the kind of type I don't want nobody to die. So you got to die eventually, but I don't want people to be, or animals to be murdered like that. So I will basically maybe hopefully quickly have maybe a trank, or maybe something that to stun them or something. But to your point, the last result, then you have no choice.
Right, but to your point, when they put dogs down, it's probably painless and they just put them to sleep. I'm talking about when you talk about cruelty, beating a dog or, not feeding him so he starves to death, or I even heard a situation someone put antifreeze in the dog's food to kill it because they didn't like the person, so they killed his dog. And the dog has nothing to do with that. So the dog has to suffer now because of some stupid ass shit that you didn't like.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't like. I just read another story where somebody broke the dog's tail because of it kept barking or it wasn't eating right or some dumb
Right, that's
shit
what I'm
like
saying.
that.
So I agree with that. Is it on the same line as a sex offender?
That's I'll say yes, and this is my take on why I feel that way. Is because like you just said, it's just like a child.
Yeah.
They're defenseless. They don't
Right.
know. An animal, they don't know unless you train them right.
Mm-hmm.
They're defenseless creatures. You know, and that's why I feel that they should be a record of all these people that's beating these animals, so people know that the cops can look up and say, oh, he's a animal abuser. It's just like I say, hey, this person is a sex offender.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what it's saying.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, because anything else that you do, it's going to go on your permanent record. So any harm to a human being, or man, woman, child, whatever the case may be, that's going to go on your permanent, whether it's murder, rape, abduction.
But they never, like I said, that's correct. But like I read about, if anybody that's listening can correct me on this, but what I was reading before this law was passed, they was hiding all these animal abusers. They was hiding
right
through that, and just because I wish I had more information on it. But when I see stuff like that, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like to read articles like that. I'll just read like the header, and I'm like, I can't. I get frustrated. I just can't, because that's what make me. Can I do like this one dog? I'm gonna tell you the story. I read this article, frankly, I was so mad. There was this 18-year-old girl, between 16 to 18-year-old girl, that was actually walking. This pit bull was minding his own business, a whole business, and she put fireworks inside the bowl, and it blew the whole dog's jaw off. And good things for the standby, saw the dog go down. Actually, rushed the dog to
right.
that I know of. It lived that I know of, and they never charged her with anything. But she was laughing about it.
So
and
she's
shit like that.
Yes. So we talked about this before, about when we remember the episode we were talking about the serial killers.
Yeah.
So they say a lot of these killers, I think it was one we were talking about, he started off killing animals. He started off killing cats and dogs and stuff like that. And then he just, lack of a better word, he graduated to killing people. So like you said, how are you going to do something like that to a dog and then laugh about it?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That's sick.
She didn't get. I don't know if she never got any jail. That shouldn't have been jail time. Definitely, because for one, I'm gonna compare this. It's like murdering a human being. It was intent to hurt someone or an animal. And it's like it should have been. Hey, it shouldn't have been what it was. I know we called it animal abuse, but technically it was animal. It could have been attempted murder on an animal.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, I've heard stories of men killing police dogs for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. He shot a police dog and they gave him like 30 years. So
that's good. That's good. I'll say.
But there's people who get less time than that for killing humans.
That's what I'm saying. We all know that the system is broken. We've been through that. It's broken. It's whatever the judge feel like, or whatever they feel like charging you with.
Okay,
the DA, basically, that's what that is.
Okay, but what I'm getting to is, like, you have to be fair across the board. Okay,
I agree with that. You should be.
Yeah, if you did kill a police dog, there's time attached to it.
Mm-hmm. So same with killing anybody's dog.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah, just any defenseless animal. But if you have someone who like mutilates a dog, so the dog's face is probably never going to, fully heal the same. So yeah, she should have did some time. And then she's laughing about it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I read about the story. And that's a so soft topic for me, because I'm an animal lover. I got 3 cats of my own. Mm-hmm. And I know that one of them, when we got him, he was 2. He's 4 now. And you could tell that he was definitely abused, because he didn't let no men touch him. Not even me. And I didn't do nothing to him. The first day he came into the house, I lost my grandfather, like, I think a couple days or 3 days after the fact, and then we got him. And he came in and he was looking around. I remember it was like yesterday, and and I'm just going up behind him. I'm not doing anything to him. I'm just trying to pet him, and it looks like he was going to jump through the roof. You gotta tell me that somebody had been beating that cat.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we see pictures of, videos of dogs who, people just don't feed them. Or like if you make a sudden movement, then, they get in defense mode. So they've been hit before. So, yeah, I agree with their. That's what I'm saying. Michael Vick went to jail for that. So I don't know if it was because of the gambling part.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what that was. Okay. I don't know the whole story behind it, but what I read and what I found out, like I said, anybody that's listening can correct me if I'm wrong, that these animal abusers was hiding behind.
Okay, so
because it wasn't a felony.
Okay.
Obviously, if Donald Trump just passed a law for the felony that just came out now that I'm quoting, I tweeted about it. You can find it on my Twitter page. I tweeted about it weeks ago. So if it's a felony now, but it was a felony back all those years ago. So what was it? Like they had to been charging you with something else that you did that was involved because they couldn't charge you because it wasn't.
So let me ask you this question, and it's a segue because. And I'm going to use something that you just stated about James Harden, not to bring him back up again.
I think the audience is sick of hearing about James Harden.
But it's bigger than Harden. Michael Vick, even though he did his jail time,
he paid for it. Yeah,
and he lost his sponsorships. He lost everything.
He did.
I don't know if he came out. I'm sure he probably came and did a public apology for whatever happened.
I believe he did. Yes.
So why do people still hold that against him?
They shouldn't.
But they do.
But they shouldn't. Because let's say, for example, let's say if God comes down to mankind and says, I'm going to hold you guys for because you killed my son.
Okay.
Okay, that's the same way. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes.
Thank you.
Here's my point, though. So there's different levels.
But that's not your job to judge. That's what
it's not. No,
it's not.
Absolutely.
People that point the fingers at Michael Vick, he has done his time.
Yeah.
And again, whatever's in his heart, if he repented for what he did, stuff like that, God's gonna throw it into the deep darks of the ocean, into the sea. He's not gonna have to worry about it. But if he's still doing it, then that's
right.
He's gonna catch up with him.
Okay.
He's gonna have to answer for it.
Okay. So what you're saying is making sense to me now. And I can't even use the James Harden thing because you just said not too long ago that you're going to rub whatever chance you get against James Harden, but it's only maybe because he's still doing it. So if James Harden went 2-3 years where he's not complaining, he's playing.
I would be a fan.
Okay.
I'll be a fan. Honestly, I'll be a fan.
Okay.
Again, work hard.
Right.
Get everybody involved. Win championships. I wish I was that talented. I wish I had the God-given talent to go out there and play a professional sport. Because you know why? I'm so humble now, and I'll be humbled then. No, I'm being honest with you. No money in this world. No, I don't care if I get rich someday. No money in this world would definitely change my attitude. Because you know why? Money's not everything.
It's not.
And I want to talk about Tua Tagovailoa.
Who's this?
He's a quarterback prospect.
Okay.
That's coming into this year's draft, and he's the one that's bitching.
What's he talking about?
I tweeted out from JPA Football, tweeted out something that he posted that Tua might not declare for the draft because he had a lot of injuries at Alabama this year, and he feels that he's not going to get the highest money possible if he drops in the draft. What's your take on that one?
It goes back to something we're probably going to touch on next week.
Yeah, so
but
try to make it down.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not so much the specifics; it's the overall attitude. We talked about when people come from poverty, and you don't know he's young. There's probably people in his ear.
I get that. I got people and like for example. I gotta realize something. I'm a different person compared to these athletes out there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Money's not everything. I don't care. I'd rather go somewhere where I can be successful. Even if he gets drafted by the Dolphins, or even if he goes number one,
he should be grateful.
He should be grateful. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're making because it goes by each pick. So if you're the highest, you get paid the highest. Each time you drop down, it's less that you get.
So, but he's rolling the dice because who's to say that he might get injured before the draft?
He's out. He's done for the season anyways. He's done for the season. I get that, but at the same time would you rather go to a team that it has the right system for you, even if you drop in the draft where you can be successful, then maybe since you want to be financially stable and you're greedy about money, you go ahead and maybe get a second contract. But if you go somewhere where you shit the bed, you're not going nowhere. You're out of the NFL.
Right, but see, to your point, when you get into the NFL, no matter if you're third, any sport, it doesn't matter where you're drafted. What matters is the work you put in and how you perform on the court. So how many? I'm big on NBA. So I know there's a few. Manu Ginobili, if I'm not mistaken, he was the second round.
Who?
Manu Ginobili.
Never heard of his ass.
Oh, from the Spurs. The
yeah.
Ginobili,
I
number
thought
20.
we was talking about NFL. That's my fault. I know who you're talking about now.
Right.
But
Ginobili, just in any, it really doesn't matter.
Where you
what
drafted,
I'm saying is it doesn't matter where you're drafted.
Tom Brady was drafted 6th round.
There you go.
Antonio Brown, before he came a dick, was drafted in the 6th round. So it's like
exactly. Yeah. So when you get to that point and you put in work, you don't have to worry about the money because, like you said, the next contract and you're going to have endorsements.
Exactly. But I wouldn't care about that. That's what I'm saying. Is I wouldn't care about that. It'd be about I'm a love of the sport.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is your love for the sport is going to reap the fruits.
That's what I'm. Yeah, exactly.
You're putting in the work. You love your love for the game.
Said
exactly.
Is it's going to get him. It's going to get him to not be successful. And in my opinion, I don't like him at all as a top quarterback prospect. I think he's just a college player.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He's not NFL. Justin Herbert is going to be the hidden gem, whoever's going to select him. I just see a lot of... He reminds me a little bit of... oh my God, what is that quarterback? I see his face. He reminds me of oh God. I can't remember, but he with mobility, he has a strong arm. Tua lefty, throws lefty, but then you have injury problems. I have not heard anything injury on Justin Herbert yet, or the other prospects like Joe Burrow. I like him too, but if I had to choose my top 2 quarterbacks in this year's draft, it would be Justin Herbert, my number 1, Joe Burrow number 2, and even Jake Fromm, and he's from Georgia, and he's not all that anyways because they're more of a running team, so he's not really passing it a lot.
Okay.
So then I got Tua down to 4, even drop him down to if I have other prospects into there, he'll be in my top 20 at least. He'll be like the 20th because I don't think he's NFL player. I think he's just a college player, and his head's just too big. Just like I said, you're mad just because of you might get selected 32th overall pick instead of 1st overall.
You better take what you get.
That's just, I don't care if I'm selected in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, even the last pick in the 1st round. If I'm going to go somewhere I can be successful and I can lead my team someday to the promised land, to the Super Bowl ring, that's all I care about. I want Super Bowl rings. Don't care about none of this money shit. Because like I said, I want rings.
But see, and I have that same idea. I have that same ideology. Why? Because when you look back on your career, money can go. Money can leave.
But they're going to remember you for your rings.
Exactly. The stamp that you put on the game, even if you don't win rings, if you go out there and you give 110% and you try, then, you're going to get recognized.
You're going to. And also they're going to remember you as say he's a hard worker. I know he didn't get a ring. They'll talk about, I wish this person got a ring. But there's that but.
Okay,
and they're going to say.
Perfect example. So Mike Conley, he might have one of the biggest NBA contracts in history.
And he's crapping the bed this year.
But that's what I'm saying. You can have all this money, but we just talked about John Stockton, who is a better player than Mike Conley. He didn't get as much money as Mike Conley, but people are going to remember John Stockton before they remember a Mike Conley.
That's what I'm saying. Even though I didn't follow basketball that much, at least I know who John Stockton is. Like I said, I followed more basketball now than I did back then, but I knew who John Stockton was back then.
Yeah.
So it was because people talk about him.
And he left a stamp on the game.
Exactly. People, I'm going to tell you now, there'll be a lot of people that's listening to this is going to agree with me. I know I keep bringing up James Harden. I'm sorry that I'm feeding you guys this. It is what it is. Is people remember him as a crybaby. I guarantee you that.
I don't
people
think
like
so.
me. No, I'm talking about people like me that sides with me on this. Maybe somebody that's all gooey off of stats. Like I'm saying is people out there like stats.
Off of
Some fans, I'm telling you, especially who's the Rock fans. Oh my God, he scored 60 points.
It
doesn't matter.
I think it does matter.
No, it doesn't.
I honestly
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, they're gonna remember say, hey, you could never get to the big dance, and even if you did, you could never win it. Like they're going right now, if Cam Newton never plays in the NFL again, they're gonna remember him and say, hey, he choked in the Super Bowl. I know he was MVP, he was an All-Star, and he had winning seasons, but they're gonna and this is a Panther fan telling you this.
Right.
It's facts. Facts is facts. They remember say, hey, he didn't go for that fumble in the Super Bowl 50 against the Broncos. And I'm ranting because I'm pissed.
Okay, but to everything you just said, okay, you could have players who choking moments. Michael Jordan missed game winners. Kobe missed game winners. James Harden's
again, it goes back to the rings. Listen, because Michael Jordan got 6 rings, so they're not going to worry about him choking like that.
Okay, so we can even do Charles Barkley. We can do a Patrick Ewing. There's so many other players out there who have put a stamp on the game. Allen Iverson. There's a lot of players,
and he deserved a ring in my opinion.
But that's my point. So even though they might have 1 or 2 flaws in their game, or I don't condone what James Harden did that one year where he just quit on the team. I don't condone that. But there is...
I think he still does, deep down inside on stuff, because you're going to have these outposts where you have 60-point nights and you might have maybe 22, 25 maybe. And then,
I mean, I don't know what his average is, but last year he averaged... I know you don't, but last year he averaged 36. He averaged more than Kobe.
Again, I'm not all about stats. Like I said,
I understand that.
You could be the suckiest player on the team, and you only any sport for that. You could be a baseball player only has 8 career home runs, but if you're putting the work in and you are working hard at your career, at what you're doing to change the game or trying to change the game, even though that you're not a big superstar, I like that. I really like that. I love seeing other people work hard for their stuff.
So, but this is what I'm getting at, and I'm not grilling you over James Harden, but people thought Westbrook did the same thing when he was patting his stats. When he got the triple doubles and all that stuff.
Yes, I'll say conspiracy theory. He was. If you look at it, he probably was. He's never gonna say it, but I guarantee he was.
But I did see a few plays where the center kind of just let him get the rebound. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead and get your rebound.
That's what I'm saying. You can definitely see it. He probably like, yo, Stephen Adams, make sure that I get that. Oh yeah, dog, I got you.
Yeah, so if I'm in the area, just let me get the rebound.
That I don't like. That I can't stand it. So I'm gonna botch. Like I said, I'm going after Harden. I'm gonna botch Westbrook for that. If it happens, it happens. Let it come to you. That I don't like either. Play the game. Play it hard. If you get it naturally. Don't let it. I disagree. I piggyback what you said. I disagree with that.
We can agree to disagree. That's fine. Yeah. But I think most of it lies on the coach. If the coach, his job is to make sure the team plays at the highest level they can play.
But the players is, again, free country, free speech. These players don't have to listen to these coaches, honestly.
They can. But then the coach can say, come sit right next to me.
He can do that too.
So, that is something. This is very interesting.
I like it because we're really debating. We never debated like this in a long time.
But it's cool.
Good. It's good.
It is cool. But you know what? I just think that there's a lot of people who maybe not know how much work it takes. Like, how many shots did James Harden have to put up where he can just come over half court and hit a 3? I mean, he's put in work, top of work.
I never questioned his work ethic.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way that he throws his teammates out to dry. That's the issue that I'm having. Is the fact is he could have won at least 3 rings by now, at least maybe 2.
Okay, so let me give you this. We touched on Kyrie a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
So, what is your stance on Kyrie?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Complainal.
Okay. So
that's all about me.
So he's almost in the same boat as a James Harden.
Yeah, I don't care for Kyrie either.
You don't care for Kyrie.
No.
Okay.
I like his style. I like the Nets team, and I think the Nets is going to regret that contract at the end of the day. They should have never traded Russell away. D'Angelo Russell away at all, in my opinion. The way that I look like, again, I didn't follow the Nats too much last year because of Russell. To me, is not a superstar caliber player. So but he is what they call a role player, but he's also a underdog type player. If he would just come on and develop right, he could definitely do it. But I think they should have stuck with him, because if you notice, they was a bit more better with him running the show in Brooklyn than they are with Kyrie. Because Kyrie, all he's trying to do is pad his stats. If you really look at it, when he was playing, and now he's like, oh my god, I got a broken fingernail. Oh, because for some reason he was injured the other day. It was something really minor. It was like
he didn't want to play the Celtics.
That's what I'm saying.
He sat out. He didn't even travel with the team.
It's
to
like
the Celtics.
it's just like they're saying, it's like, oh my god, I just broke a nail. Coach, can you kiss it? That's pretty much what that stuff is.
So here's an interesting take that a lot of people haven't really tackled. So we talked about mental health. So it's coming out now. Okay, so Kyrie went from Cleveland to Boston. Oh, there was drama in the locker room. Kyrie was coming to practice, and there was days where he just wouldn't talk to anybody. He gets to Boston. It's kind of the same thing. Now he comes to Brooklyn. It's kind of the same thing. All these things are coming out.
Then you shouldn't be playing the game. Like,
okay,
I get 90% is mental.
Yes.
But you need to go talk to somebody if you have issues.
Okay, so that's funny that you should say that, because I was watching Undisputed, and Kyrie, I guess after the game that he didn't go to Boston, I think Boston fans were ripping into him.
I would too.
So, okay,
go Boston fans. I'm right
I
with
agree,
you on this
because
one.
you're paying money.
To go see this.
First of all, you play for us and you didn't give us 100%. So yes, I'm sour about that. And then secondly, it's time for you to come back and face us, and you don't even travel with the team. So I'm with you. Okay, rip into him. So Kyrie came out with this long tweet, I think, and he was kind of saying things like, life is more than basketball and putting the ball in. But listen, same sentiments. Listen, life is more. So on Undisputed, they said the same thing I was thinking. They're paying you millions of dollars.
Yeah, shut the
to put the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
Don't complain about it, because they can easily. Okay, so what if it was in your contract? It wasn't guaranteed money. Kyrie could say this stuff, and they can cut him or do whatever, and he's still guaranteed that money.
I would never ever. I feel sorry for the Brooklyn Nets fans. They should never went out and signed his dumbass. Is because of. And the way I'm blunt about that is the fact is, if you got mental issues, I don't condone mental issues. People have mental issues that that needs to iron out like that. Like, I have my own problems, like we know, but I am not going to sit there and complain, especially if I'm making money. It's not about money, but it's about your. That's a privilege.
But it's your job. We go back to what Jordan said. You're getting paid to do a job.
Right. It's not a job. I look at it as the career, because the job is what you and I have. We don't get paid millions. The career is you get paid almost 6 figures or over.
Okay, so I'll give you that. Yeah. So it is his career.
It's his career, and that's your lifeline.
Okay.
That's how you make a living.
Right. So this is where, and this is my opinion, this is where Kyrie has to draw that line. So we might touch on introverts and extroverts on a
but nobody
podcast.
needs to know.
Okay, but let me finish this. Let me finish. No, you're good. You're good. Introverts and extroverts. So they're saying Kyrie Irving, just like Kawhi Leonard, they're introverts. They'd rather be to themselves. Kyrie, he's probably like a deep thinker, whatever the case may be. That's you. But when you get on the court and when you're in that locker room, you have an obligation. They are looking at he just won a ring in Cleveland. Now you're with this young team. Even when he was with Boston, he was supposed to be the leader of that team. Now they got Kevin Durant. So when Kevin Durant comes back, he might be the leader of the team. But right now they have Kyrie. Kyrie, you got to iron that out, man. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You got to leave that on the court, or you have to leave it off the court. So like they say in all settings, whatever's going on behind closed doors
stays behind closed doors.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying there, RM, is the fact that if you struggle with mental stuff, or because 90% is mental in the game of basketball, go talk to somebody. Go to a therapist. Talk to somebody. Nobody needs to know that Kyrie Irving is going to go talk to somebody. Or for example, nobody needs to know if Aaron Swarm is going to go talk to somebody. They don't. That's it's called confidentiality.
Yes. See, but
that's what I'm saying. Is we all established he has mental issues. We all established that Kyrie Irving has some kind of mental issue going on. We have established that he needs to go seek.
So we just talked about they have people on the staff now who are supposed to be there for these situations when players are going through whatever. Now they do have somebody on staff they could talk to. But to your point, it does take a level of I keep going back to Kobe Bryant. I'm going to mention Kobe Bryant a lot because he's one of my favorite players, and a lot of things kind of, attach themselves to him.
That.
So Kobe Bryant, we talked about it when Kobe came off a rape case. He was in court, flew to LA and busted ass. So you're standing in front of a judge who might give you jail time, and then you come back and you bust ass. So that's what I'm talking about. Kobe left all that stuff off the court. Whatever's happening off the court, when I lace those sneakers up,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And I totally agree with that. I don't, like I said, I'm not out here saying that I do not agree with. I don't agree with rape at all.
At all.
People should be hung up, strapped up, whatever you want to say.
They should be held accountable for that.
They do. But guess what? When he got on the court, he did not say, "Oh, poor me. Oh my God."
No, he did the adverse. He used that as fuel, and he went in. I forget how many points he scored, but he went off.
It doesn't matter, but I'm just saying.
And that's what Kyrie should do.
Yeah.
So
put frustration, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
On the court.
But see, this is to my point, and I'm talking about Kevin Durant and the Kyrie Irving, and they're talking about how sensitive they are. So Kevin Durant was using, I don't know if you heard about Kevin Durant, where he made a fake Twitter account so he could argue with people for saying he sucks and things of that nature. It's not that serious.
These people don't.
Why do these people have an impact on you? You're making millions of dollars. You're MVP, scoring champion, finals MVP, and you care about Billy Bob, who lives in the basement, what he thinks?
And he makes probably not even
nothing. He probably works at Target, and he's, you know what I'm saying?
Making like 15 grand a year. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to play a sample last night. I was streaming playing Madden 20 and Face of the Franchise. So you're the quarterback. You get drafted by the team. Mm-hmm. You get an agent. You get drafted by a team. Dolphins, Raiders, Broncos. I believe that's it. And you are playing. So this guy, I'm streaming on Twitch, and he slides into my comments, was like, "Oh, you're a joke. You don't play on defense." And I was like, "What?" And I didn't take it to heart because I'm like, "Who cares? I don't care if you don't want to watch me. I don't give I don't give a rat's ass. Go fuck off."
Right.
And it's just like, in that game, in that mode, is essentially you cannot play defense. You only play that one player because you're controlling the quarterback. That's you. You're the face of the franchise of that team. So it's all on you. So I play all the quarterback, all the offense. So when we're on offense, that's me. He didn't know if I'm an ass in the hole in the ground because of how. It's prime example right there. I could have created a fake Twitch right down his Twitch name and want to start arguing with him about dumb shit that who cares? And I'm not even rich and I don't care. So it's exactly, it's prime example. I don't care if you like me or you don't like me. You either gonna like me or you're not. I don't care because you know what? I enjoy what I do. I enjoy being information. I enjoy something like a podcast. People say something like a podcast sucks dick. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. You don't have to listen to it. This is for people that wants to listen to it and wants to hear information.
But hey, I'm gonna give you this. They say your biggest haters are your secret fans.
Yeah, because they kind of like you, but they don't want to. They don't want to come out and say it.
So that's the thing. So if this is my mindset, and I use it with, I'm trying to think of a player I cannot stand. I'd have nothing on you and James Harden. I have nothing.
I know, guys. I'm sorry. We're not trying to keep bringing up James Harden.
I know. But this is what I'm saying. Okay, I'll give you this. So there was a point in time where I hated the Seattle Supersonics. I hated them because they kept winning. Not because they were bad, because they kept winning. And what happened the next year? I want to say this was like 93. So I'm like 13, 14. Every time I saw the Supersonics play, I just had this anger in me, like, they suck. I can't stand them, but they suck. What happened the next year? I'm their biggest fan. Because secretly, I loved them. And for whatever reason, maybe there was a player I liked that they kept beating. So since they're beating my old favorite team, I don't like them. Not because they suck, because they're that good.
Yeah,
and next year, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I like the Sonics.
I would love James Harden fans, true ones, to freaking heal this podcast. I want them to try to rip me a new ass, because you know why? Because I'm gonna laugh at them. Because you know what? I'm not gonna argue with them because I don't give two shits.
It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying, there are certain aspects where you truly don't.
I don't care.
That's cool.
I'm giving my opinion, and you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you truly don't like something, it could be genuine. But then there are situations like I just stated where you're saying all this hateful stuff, but deep down, you like them.
I
Not you, but what I'm saying, not you, but there are people. So people might say something like a podcast, I can't stand it. Just okay, but you're still listening to it.
Yeah, why are you listening to it if you can't stand it? Like,
right.
We're not holding your hand saying you got to turn it on. No, I'm not.
Nope. It's nothing
to
different than somebody who might be going on your webpage. They'll read every post you got, but they won't like anything. They won't
follow you.
They won't do anything, but they'll just read it so they can. This motherfucker. Okay, so why
jealousy.
Exactly.
Jealousy. And today like when I started streaming, I could definitely see my brother getting a little jealous towards it. And I'm like, you can stream too. Well, I'm trying to wait until I move. Why? What's the difference? I want to start now. I'm trying to get out where I'm at. I want to.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do something, if you're trying to be in the public eye, make yourself known. I'm trying to get to the public eye. I'm working my tail off trying to get in the public eye. So I tweet every day. I blow up Twitter every day. That's who I am. People wants to read it.
Yeah.
Like last night. I'm gonna read one of my tweets from last night.
Okay.
So this is what I tweeted out last night. Then I have my own Instagram. So this is what I tweeted out last night. If it pops up, and it's not gonna pop up because it's done. Let me find it.
But in any case, whatever you do, it should be for the love of it. If people hate it. So there's also another adage that says people break into houses when they know it's something in there. So if you didn't have anything in your house, you didn't have any talent, you didn't have any skills, you didn't have a whole bunch of followers, people wouldn't care. They would leave you alone. But since you have the followers, since you have the podcast, since you have your own website or whatever the case may be, and people aren't doing what they should be doing, they focus their negative attention on you. So have we found the tweet? I'm
trying to find. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find.
It's all good.
Because I have a good point. Because it's going to stress into baseball a little bit, just because of yesterday it was announced that the Philadelphia Phillies signed Zach Wheeler to 5 years, $118 million deal.
That's money.
It's money. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
So this is what I tweeted, and I was on Facebook and I was seeing this, guys. Phillies fans were bitching about the signing. They overpaid. This guy sucks. This guy ain't gonna do nothing. Shut the hell up. Because of, for one, our weakness last year was we couldn't go long in games. Starters sucked ass below Aaron Nola. You couldn't do nothing. We finally go out and get a guy from a division rival. Take one of those guys, from division rival and turn him into us now, and then you complaining about it. So this is what the tweet I sent out yesterday, and I got a lot of feedback on it. I got over 1,000 impressions. I have like over 10 comments, 3 retweets, 5 likes. So this is what I said. Today, the Phillies signed Zach Wheeler to a 5-year, $118 million deal. So I'm seeing on social media that fans still ain't happy. Yes, I get the Phillies overpaid a little, but we added to our needs. So stop complaining and be happy. More moves to come. And that's facts right there. Like, I'm the kind of type that I'm going to let fans and people know about it, just because the fact is, I'm happy with the signing. Yes, we overpaid. Oh, hell yeah, we overpaid almost $50 million more. I get that we did. But guess what? It gets a need. So if he does blow up, or if he did what he did last year, or if he goes up and beyond last year, it's gonna be a solid deal. And he took less money. White Sox offering almost $120 million, maybe 122 guaranteed when it probably all said and done. But his wife is from New Jersey, so he chose the Phillies because of his wife. So it's like he accommodated her, but then he has to somewhat have to love the city to come here, because $120 million in Chicago was a pretty good amount, to talk. So it's like, for example, right there, I sent that tweet because that's all I kept saying. Oh my God, this guy sucks. This is the worst signing ever. What are you doing, Matt Kintack? What are you doing? Matt Kintack is trying to build a championship team. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
So I agree with the signing 100%. But the reason why I'm saying all this goes to with the point that you were saying. You can't. Why? It's like, if you hate it so much, get off social media.
You can turn it off.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
but you love it because you're talking about it.
Exactly.
So that's why it goes. That's why it goes with this, is because of you hate it so much that, oh my God, I like that they signed Wheeler, but they overpaid.
Yeah,
we all know they overpaid.
Find something. They have to find something.
I know they overpaid, but I'm not complaining about it because of, I love the signing. I know what I saw last year. Our pitcher rotation sucked ass. We couldn't stay healthy. I'm happy with the signing. We're going to add more pitching. We'll have more bullpen. We're mainly probably going to get another bat, maybe more bench pieces to accommodate Bryce Harper and everybody else. So I'm happy with how the Phillies started the offseason, going out and get Zach Wheeler. Got money to burn it.
Yeah.
I don't care. The luxury tax should not stop the Phillies this year. John Middleton needs to get his ass on a horse, get us another damn championship before I'm freaking 30.
Okay, well, that's how we're going to end it. We're coming up on 59
and
minutes.
I do want to shout out some
do
things.
your thing, yeah.
So I want to shout out OTH Heroics. Them guys are awesome. Go check them out on Twitter
Absolutely.
and Instagram. I want to shout out Clutch Crew Sports. And guess what?
Yes.
Dale podcast fans.
Yes.
We're going to have a special next Thursday with Clutch Crew comes together with something like a podcast. It's going to be
great.
Freaking awesome. Get a chance to talk to these guys.
Yeah.
I know I'm hyping them up because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of all of them. They're freaking amazing. I talked to them last night. These guys are freaking awesome. Alan Swarm, find me on Twitter. Peace out.
And it is the 1RM. Peace.